From Abuja, the nation's capital, this is Matters Arising, coming to you live from the studios of King Adebayo Film and Theatre Arts Network, commonly referred to as KAFTANTV. Matters Arising is the flagship talk show of KAFTANTV that features in-depth discussions and analysis of topical and trending national as well as international issues by our team of seasoned broadcast journalists. My name is Macauley Hunohashi, saying thanks for being there and thanks for joining us on Matters Arising tonight.
My name's Oriri Richard. Good evening. Don't touch the die.
That's right.
Okechukwu Onubogbu here. Good to have you there.
Yes, good to have you there. And we welcome you to today's show, which promises to be engaging, incisive, and interactive, as well as conversational. You can also be a part of the conversation by calling our phone number 002-993-8365, which will be displayed on your screens later in the course of the show. Well, guys, good evening, guys.
Good evening, sir.
Former President Olusegun Obasanjo, the federal government, particularly handlers of Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, are taking a swipe at the former President Olusegun Obasanjo for making a statement accusing them of state capture. And he also talk about leadership failure with particular emphasis on the current administration of Nigeria led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. What's your take on that?
He referred to the man as Baba Go Slow. Well, that is one of the things we see. But for the fact is, I must say, people should be careful. As far as I know, Obasanjo is a father. Don't talk to fathers like that. I have seen young people open their mouth and say whatever they like. Be careful. Life is not what you play with anyhow. That's the much I can say.
I'm sure Ori will have a different view.
It's our tradition never to insult another. Another is another.
Yeah.
And for Nigeria, Africa as a whole, Obasanjo is a statesman. So he didn't do much well when he holds sway. Doesn't mean
it's not an excuse.
Doesn't mean if he's seeing wrong things going on.
Exactly.
He will not say.
Exactly.
But if you want to talk about election, the electoral umpire in Nigeria, Obasanjo shouldn't say anything to that at all. Because the best ever conducted election in Nigeria after 1993 election, that MK Abiola's election, was in 1998, conducted by military.
That's
that
right.
brought Obasanjo into power
as
a civilian president. It was the most fairest and freest election ever conducted in Nigeria. And Obasanjo benefited from that fair electoral process.
And then what did he do?
In 2003, he conducted the worst ever election process, not just in Nigeria, but in Africa. I witnessed it. I witnessed it as an agent.
Why are you laughing?
As a party agent in my ward. I witnessed it. He uses military to destroy everything concerning election. 2027, the one that he conducted in 2027 seems to be the worst again. And the person that benefited from that fraud called election, late President Yaradua, he admitted to it, pleaded with Nigerians that yes, the process that brought him to power was flawed. But today, Obasanjo is the same person saying that...
I quite agree with you, Ori, but that doesn't preclude the fact that he's a father who sees things that are wrong, and times have changed.
Yes.
So he's free to say,
I must say something.
This is wrong.
I must say something.
You are free to talk.
Richard Oriri, you said the worst in Africa. I don't agree with you. Because talking about the worst in Africa, you're now saying that Mugabe was a saint when it comes to... You can't talk about that.
All right, guys. That's on a lighter note. But on a more serious note, guys, our topic of discussion tonight is a focus on lessons to be learned from the just concluded governorship election in Ondo State. The Independent National Electoral Commission on Sunday declared Governor Loki Aidatua of the ruling All Progressives Congress winner of Saturday's governorship election in Ondo State. INEC declared Loki Aiyedatiwa winner after polling the highest number of votes in the election. During Saturday's poll, Aiyedatiwa battled People's Democratic Party's candidate Agbola Ajayi, Olorunfemi Festus of the Labour Party, and Abbas Mimiko of Zenith Labour Party, among others. INEC's returning officer and Vice Chancellor of the Federal University of Lokoja, Professor Akinwumi Olayebi Durotimi, while announcing the result in Akure, the state capital, said Aiyedatiwa polled a total of 366,781 votes, while Ajayi got 117,845 votes, while Labour Party had, came a distant third with 1,162. While the camp of the APC has been in jubilant mood since the announcement of the results, the main opposition party, the People's Democratic Party, that is taking a swipe at the entire electoral process. At a media briefing held shortly after the announcement, PDP officials expressed their dissatisfaction with the election process, alleging widespread irregularities and a lack of transparency. The party claims that numerous incidents of voter suppression and manipulation were reported across various polling units during the elections. Here we are again. The elections have come and gone. The people of Ondo State had a debt with history for them to exercise their franchise by choosing who will lead them in the next 4 years. Now, we've had on record over 2 million registered voters. But on the D-Day, less than 500,000, which represents a little below 25% of the voting population, came out to exercise their franchise, which means only less than 25% of the total registered voters decided on the fate of the people of Ondo State on Saturday. And we have the All Progressive Party's candidate, that's Loki Aiyedatiwa, emerging victorious at the polls. There are so much lessons to learn in terms of security arrangement, which police deployed over 22,000 personnel on ground. So I was even asking, was it war that you have to deploy 22,000 police in in an election that is going to last less than 12 hours? In a state that has only 18 local governments. But earlier before we came into the show, Oches was talking about Edo State, and that the fact that in 2023 general election there was a precedent that was set, which is about creating some semblance of preponderance of percentages in terms of elections in Nigeria. Oriri?
Yes, I must say that that is the simple truth about this matter. If that election had gone on so well, by now you would have been having 85 to 95% of people coming to vote. But because that election went the way it did, everybody was discouraged. You remember that?
Which election?
I'm talking about the last presidential election.
The presidential election.
Yes, okay. Because people came out under the rain, under every situation that wasn't okay. And even some donated their generators to help. And people did everything, stayed all through. After the vote, after the verification, they went for the voting. After the voting, they stayed for the counting. After the counting, they expected the thing to be uploaded. The beavers were told were to be used and all that, and to the IREP, and it will go straight to headquarters, as Professor Mahmood kept singing as a song. He sang it for more than 200 times, more than 1,000 times before the election. So it made everybody believe it was so going to be perfect, it would be the best we will ever have in this country. And what happened? That day was the day they told us that the IREF had problem, this and that and all that. And when they started counting that their votes at the national headquarters, people mentioned it. They said, don't worry, we'll go back and we'll talk about those ones later. Let's count the ones we have. And he never went back to such things again, thereby killing the zeal that people had with which they came out for election. You see, this thing that we've just had 25%, as I told you earlier, Edo was just about the same thing. And Anambra will soon come. Is that not the next one? Come, yes. And I won't be surprised if it's also 20% that we'll get to have there. And it goes on like that. If Professor Mahmoud does not do something to restore the destroyed image he created, I'm telling you, it's not going to get any better. In actual fact, it has even got worse because in Edo, we were told about vote buying, and in Ondo, it even escalated. It got escalated. That I remember that I saw on TV, one of the women, old woman that was one of the people that voted, said, "We have finished the voting. Everything has gone well. No problem. We have taken our money." And the children that were there said, "Hey, Mama, no, don't talk about that one." But he already said it. So the vote buying became, we got an improved version of vote buying in Ondo election, because that of Edo, they were talking about 5,000 to 10,000. But this time they were talking about 10 to 25,000, So they have been increasing it, thereby trying to kill everything that has to do with the conscience of anybody. I don't blame former presidential candidate of SDP, Adewale Adebayo, that said they called it something. He said it was it was an Ondo auction. That's what we called it, auction. So he went to the highest bidder. It was an auction, and I think it's very correct. This is what our country is getting into. The government in power today has taken some decisions that economic decisions that have affected the nation so badly, I must say. Though in recent months, in just this last month, they are making some efforts to start getting better, because I know that all the while they didn't really know exactly what to do with it. But now they seem to have figured out what will be done. So they are beginning to get better with certain things. But what has been done has been done. You see, the economy had gone haywire because of the fuel price hike of, and all that. And the economy, the money power was brought to almost nothing. So, and the Naira had a free fall, until just recently that they started doing something about it. So all these have made it even difficult for anybody that wants to vote to have his hand, to have his conscience, okay, let me just go and vote and go. When the money is being shared around, they will have no option but to take it. That's what I think for now. Let's just keep going, since I know I'm not alone here.
Yes, he has spoken so well. But the area I will disagree with him is the area of comparatively comparing what happened in Ondo, the voter party in Ondo, to presidential election. If you look at what is the total population of Nigeria today? More than 200 million, right?
More than 200 million.
More than 200 million. And in 2023, the election of 2023, the president that won the election, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, how many votes did he use in winning? About 8 million. 8 million. Atiku 6 million plus. Obi 6 million plus. If you put everything together, it's about 20-point-something million.
Exactly.
You get it? Not even up to half of our population.
It's not all the members of the population that vote. We're talking about the voting population. There's a difference between the population of the country and the voting population.
Our voting population should be up to 100 million.
Our voting population is about 83 million.
83 million, yes. And total just 20.
Total just 20.
Just 20. And 8 million took the day. 8 million plus votes took the day. So what is there is that the voter party may not necessarily because of the voter party at the state level now may not necessarily be because there was a disenchantment over the 2023 election.
The dynamics are different.
I don't think that is the issue.
The dynamics are different.
Yes, I don't think that is the issue. Now the Ondo election, the lessons learned from the Ondo election. Before now, I was of the opinion that since it's just a state election, INEC should better use their staff. They can deploy all their staff from all the states of the federation to Ondo State. Both people that will serve as presiding officers in every poly unit should be INEC officials, INEC staff. people who are employed by INEC, the people who normally sell this election to the highest bidder, mostly the ad hoc staff, who have nothing to lose. But in the ONDO election, like my in-law, Okechukwu Onubogbu said, just like what our President Adewale Adebayo, the KAFTAN president, what he said, the ONDO option, it went to the highest bidder from the look of things. And the 18 local government was won by a particular political party. You see, after the US presidential election, I said it on this platform, that what is going on all over the world now is a plutocracy, where the wealthy elite in the society, they are coming together now to taking over the state structure. That is what is going on all over the world. They are not even thinking of democracy has been murdered. Because the basic ingredient of democracy is electoral process. The process of election should be seen to be fair, should be seen to be transparent. And all the processes towards the election shouldn't be seen as that somebody influenced somebody to doing something against his or her wish. But in this case, like he said, poverty is everywhere, but the glaring scenario, the glaring picture of what played out in ONDO, in all the almost all the polling units, even within the town, you see police in most polling units, you see INEC officials in almost all the polling units. But this vote buying, the transaction that was going on, police have no power to say they are arresting anybody buying the vote or selling the vote. They
were not doing it on the ground there. They will shift by the side and do it.
But everyone, they were seeing it so it was so glaring. It was so glaring. INEC wasn't taking any step to say you are selling vote, you arrest you, or you are buying vote, arrest you. But so just like KAFTAN president target in criminologists, they call it crimeless. This thing is crimeless victim.
Crimeless victim.
Crimeless victim. Because willing buyer and willing seller. Just like a prostitution. In prostitution, it's the willing seller and the willing patronizer. You get it? So you cannot call it a crime in such a situation. So
both of you are crimeless victims.
Yes, they are both victims. So if you want to take it that way. So the election in Nigeria generally, the elites who have the money, the resources, they have hijacked democracy. Before now, we heard that democracy, according to the people who designed the concept, they told us that democracy, ordinarily, the power that is embedded in democracy is in the hands of the electorate. That is the masses. But today, democratic power has been taken over from the masses, the people. It's now in the hand of the 1% few, the 1% wealthy few in the society. They are the one who see US. Elon Musk and the other billionaires within US, they came together, put their resources together, they bought vote openly in an open field until they even took Elon Musk to court. And he was vindicated. So now vote buying has been stamped to be in order. It has been stamped from US that even exported this democracy to us. Vote buying has been stamped, and I think if we don't find a way to this, it will be very difficult for us to get out of this. Before now, I was looking at our electoral process to change from even this practice that we are practicing, this democracy we are practicing now, to epistocracy. This epistocracy is a system where the knowledge, the people who have the knowledge, the academic rigor, the educational rigor, to be in position of authority. if the educated ones are in position of authority, they will not have that mindset of accumulating wealth.
Primitive accumulation of wealth.
Primitive accumulation of wealth will not be there. It's only one who is primitive, who is not educated, that can think of accumulating and thinking about tomorrow, before, when we were growing up in the 70s, 80s, when we were growing up, civil servants, if you finish for university, federal government give you job straight. And civil servants, they were contented with their salaries. So contented with their salary that they don't steal from public funds. They don't touch it.
They were not worried about tomorrow.
They are not worried about tomorrow.
Because their tomorrow was settled.
What is before them? They were using it to solve society problem. Not accumulation. It's a problem.
But let's open our telephone line so that our viewers have listened to your thoughts. Both of you have verbalized your thoughts, and our vibrant viewers, as usual, they have listened to us. Now we're going to avail them the opportunity to start calling in so that they can share their thought with us. We are here taking a look at ONDO governorship election, the lessons learned for future elections. We have Anambra state election by the corner is also one of the off-cycle elections. What are the lessons learned from ONDO state? Whether you are on ground or outside. Okay, let's take this caller, Oches, before you say something.
Okay.
Please go ahead, your name and where you're calling from. You are our first caller tonight on Matters Arising. Go ahead. You're on. You're on to Matters Arising. Please go ahead. We have lost the caller. Go ahead, Oches.
I must say that when you talk about...
call.
Okay, let's take
Hello, good evening. You're on to Matters Arising. Please go ahead. Good evening. Please raise your voice a little bit so that you can be more audible.
I'm calling from Benin State.
So, Benin State, what's your name, sir?
My name is Shola. Mr. Shola.
Shola, please could you help us turn down the volume of your TV? And then go ahead, Shola from Benin State.
Okay.
We can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, you see the problem of this country now.
Yes.
Is that buying of election. In those states, APC are using, they are buying for 20,000. And in those states, they are buying 25,000 naira. If now they are buying 25,000 naira, do you think if they enter there, they can do anything? They cannot do anything for us. And these are the challenges we are facing. They cannot do anything for the country. They cannot do anything for the country. Because this man that just entered there now, that he has spent billions of naira. I'm from Akure. I'm from Akure NDG.
Okay.
My brother was telling me that even some put their polling unit in Okaro, they are paying 30,000.
Per vote.
By vote, 30,000 per vote.
The money is increasing.
So can you say after collecting 30,000? So they are trying to confuse people that from PDT that they should be collecting 30,000. And they are paying 30,000. Police are seeing them. They will confuse people that they are the one who can pay highest. Why would PDP are paying 10,000 naira? Labour Party don't have money. So people were just saying, well, by allied Labour Party, they go vote. So this is a major problem. They cannot do anything because they have spent a lot of money. And someone that sponsors them automatically will be need money. You will need the money back. So the country, they have hijacked politics for Nigeria. Nigeria is not a political country again.
Thank you, Shola.
They are just buying the food.
Thank you, Shola. The implication of what Shola is saying is that 22,000 police officers deployed. When a police officer turns a blind eye to infractions, he has been settled. Which means if votes were being bought, in the open, and the policemen were there, other security agencies they were supposed to provide supplementary service were there, which means they could have been settled also. And my worry is that our election is becoming transactional, more transactional with each election. And that people are refusing to engage. When you refuse to engage, you allow the few, the 1% Oriri talked about, to continue to, when you say it's none of your business, then they'll make it their business. And the outcome, you have to remain with the outcome for the next 4 years.
I want to differ a bit from what you just said about the police and the others being settled. It is not being settled, that's the point. It's just that they have been told not to do anything that is out of what they have come here to do. So that's why they couldn't do anything. They have not been settled. Nobody settled them. Who can even settle them? The point is that they are doing what they came to do. That vote buying is just by the corner, and it's not their business.
But are you aware that
their business
a week before the election there was shortage of cash in the whole of Ondo State?
Well, was there not shortage of cash before the presidential election?
But that doesn't make it right.
That's not the point.
Because it happened in the presidential election.
Yeah, so it's not that's not enough reason. But what I'm saying is the police cannot. Who can settle the police? It's not possible.
Let's take this call. I'm not holding this for the police. Yes, neither are you. Let's take Abdulaziz Idris. Abdulaziz Idris calling us from Dusen Alaji. Abdulaziz, a friend of Kaftan, please go ahead with your contribution. Abdulaziz Idris from Abuja.
Good evening, Mr. Macauley, Mr. Okechukwu, and Mr. Richard.
Good evening.
Good evening, my friend.
I don't have much to say. You know that I must tell you that, first of all, I want to congratulate the governor-elect.
Thank you.
So on the second note, I just want to say that this vote buying has become an order of the day. Throughout the elections, if you look at it, right from 2011 downward, this vote buying keeps repeating itself in all the states of Nigeria. Only few that are not, you can see a little of it, but majority, whenever you go to election centers, you see people buying votes, and it goes to the highest bidder. It's a shame, really. Even though we are emulating America, even America too, we see recently this last election, it's clear they are vote buying there. So these are the developed nations, but still they are doing this same illegal way of getting votes. So people of Ondo State, I pity them, because whatever will happen in the next 4 years, they should hold themselves responsible. They should say it's only the governor that whether he did, but he knew. You can tell them that I bought this in. That's nothing they can do.
Yes.
So really, we need to think. Nigerians need to change their pattern and style of how we do things, like when it comes to election and choosing leaders that can lead people to a better Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Abdulaziz Idris, the chairman of Dusen Allergy Traders Association in Abuja.
Yes.
Always calling to give us his own fresh perspective. And let's take this caller before we come out to the studio. Hello. Good evening. This is Matters of Rising. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Go ahead. Your name and where you're calling from.
I am Abraham. I'm calling from Taraba State.
Abraham, could you turn down the volume of your TV, please, and then go ahead.
Yeah, good evening.
Go ahead from Taraba State.
Yeah, first of all, let me congratulate the governor-elect in Ondo State.
Okay, go ahead.
It has been a normal thing for vote buying now in Nigeria. I'm from Edo State.
Okay.
Vote buying has been the norms of the day. During the first tenure of the ex-governor of Edo State now, Obaseki, I was at home. I went to vote. While on the queue, APC, PDP agents were by the corner. They were selling out the highest bidder. Then if you are voting for APC, then Obaseki was in APC. You will collect 5,000, 6 years of wrapper, and a small phone.
Small phone.
Before 12 o'clock, APC has swept the election.
Abraham,
So,
did that happen in the presence of security agents? Can you confirm to us?
Yes.
Okay.
They were all present.
Okay.
They were all present. Those security agents have been settled overnight. They are just there, formality, just to stand and view.
That's his opinion.
That's his opinion.
Democracy has been murdered long time ago.
According to Oriri.
It has been murdered. So if you are not ready, you cannot contest an election. We are saying that the youth are the future of tomorrow. How can a youth cost out 100 million to buy a ticket to contest an election? From where will you get it from? So, democracy per se is not existing in Nigeria, even in Africa as a whole.
Thank you, Abraham. Thank you for your thoughts.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate your perspective this evening, Abraham. You heard him. He agrees with you that democracy has been murdered in Nigeria. He has even gone beyond to say in the entire continent of Africa.
Not just the entire continent of Africa, the whole world.
The whole world.
Because the value system of America is democracy and open market economy. And now, within the American soil, democracy was abused. Elon Musk and some other billionaires, they practicalized it. So now, coming to our own country here, if you look, I say, the contest before was between America, the West, who are championing democracy, and the some Asian countries like Russia, China.
It was a bipolar contest.
Who practice socialism.
Yeah.
They were in a contest that my own, our own value
and
supersede your ideology, supersede your own. This one said their own is better than your own. And today, the way that democracy is being abused all over the world, even the other people practicing democracy that they are disenchanted now, they are not even talking about joining socialism. Now the system is totally off both socialism and democracy. What is before us is plutocracy. Businessmen before, those who are who are the capitalists, they are now the ones forming cartels, hijacking the entire state.
To decide the trajectory.
Yes, the entire state. Like now, policy, American policy, public policy in America today now will be decided by these big plutocrats.
It would favor the bourgeoisie.
It will favor them. The poor masses, there will be nothing for them.
Okay, let's take this caller. Let's hear his perspective. Please, your anti-matters are rising. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening, go ahead. Your name and where you're calling from. Hello?
The honor calling from Kosovo State.
Beg your pardon?
Sunday honor calling from Kosovo.
Okay, honor, yes, Sunday honor.
Sunday honor.
Yes. But my contribution tonight is there's no election in Nigeria again.
Okay.
That's why we don't put that way. This election is not an election. Just elect people as president and local government.
This Sunday honor, help us to turn down the volume of your TV. Turn down the volume of your TV and then go ahead, sir.
Okay, sorry, let me go from it. Is it clear now?
Yeah,
Still
yeah.
very nice.
Okay, go ahead.
Is it better now?
It's better now. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. What I'm just saying that what has just happened in those states. It's the one that it seems like happen all over.
Yeah.
Even like Kosovo are just conducting their own. It's the same thing. So there is no more election in Nigeria. If what happened in Benue State is what replicated in Kosovo State. What happened in those states is what replicated in those states. So there is no election. If the PDP is winning the state, it's only PDP that win the whole state. The APC is winning the state, it's the APC that win the state. It's no more election. As I'm telling you, the election I have just concluded in Kosovo State, where I was, there was no election at the election. But the result of the result has been declared. So who are you going to put on that?
Okay.
So the corruption is over. Let's not forget about the election in Nigeria. Let's not forget about the election. That's not the election that will lead us.
Okay.
Finish. That's my contribution. There is no election.
Thank you.
Don't say the same thing. Don't say the same thing. I want to go to happen. It's going to be the same thing.
Sunday.
You don't need to condemn election. Let them continue to share their money and select the people they want to select and leave. That is all I got in my own contribution. There is no election in Nigeria. Let's say so.
Okay, we're being joined by Mike from Macauley. Mike is a regular caller from Macauley. Please go ahead with your perspective, Mike. You're on.
I must bless KAFTAN before I continue.
Thank you.
God cannot bless KAFTAN.
Amen.
For giving Nigerians a platform to aid their, at least their pain.
Amen.
Even if the government is not going to listen, at least we have an opportunity. Just like my brother from Ijiban, you know what I am saying. You shout at your pains. Somebody is listening. On the issue of election in Nigeria.
Yes.
I call it selection intentionally, not election.
It's selection.
We know that the APC chairman have already told Nigerians they have their strategy on. They must win all the. Well, as far as Nigeria is concerned, we are now in one party state. We have no any other opposition party in Nigeria. Those, it's not like somebody say God bless AP, PDP, or AP, or whatsoever.
Mike.
I can tell you Hunohashi without any fear of contradiction that the governorship, there is the next governorship election coming up. The result is ready already somewhere. We know. They've written the result already for the next governorship election. 27 election result is already prepared and kept. So I only pity those who are going to waste their money in buying a nomination form, whether they want to go and participate in an election under APC government. This is the worst form of democracy. If this is the best democracy will give, then I am sorry. With due respect, personal opinion, I don't think democracy is good for Africans. If this is the best democracy can give, I am sorry. We are not what it is. We are not what democracy, this kind of democracy at all. God continue to bless KAFTAN.
Mike from Macauley, our regular caller. Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. We have another caller, then we'll come back to the studios. Hello. Good evening. You're on Matters Arising. Go ahead, sir. What's your name?
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, my name is Harold. I'm calling from River State.
Harold from River State. Go ahead, sir.
The elections that we are holding in this nation,
yes,
I think just like my last caller did say, we are no longer practicing democracy. The government in question is not giving the people the opportunity to actually elect their representatives they want. It's a cash and carry issue. By 2027, we will discover. By 2027, we will discover that one party will clear all the states. So it means we are going one party system.
Okay.
Economy is bad.
That's right.
There are statistics that shows the people that no, this government can no longer be elected or can no longer function. We should choose another one. But that is the party that is winning. When people are angry and frustrated, wanting to elect another person, the same party, the same group of people we are angry for, they will be the people winning. So there is no more election in Nigeria.
Thank you, Harold. I appreciate your perspective, Harold. Harold is of the view, and I quite agree with him. There is general despondency in the land. People are hungry and they are angry, perpetrated by the same political party that is winning election. So I see it like an irony. And I don't find it difficult to agree with them that it is no longer election but selection.
Yes, there's something else I started thinking of.
Sorry, Anya is coming back. Mike from Macauley is calling back. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, there is.
It's their show. We need to avail them the opportunity.
You know, very soon you will stop having minority leaders in the
National Assembly,
even in the state assemblies.
Okay, you see,
it used to be then because I remember this thing started in the South. It started with
Hello, Mike from Macauley.
My brother Hunohashi.
Mike,
I I just want to point something out.
Go ahead, Mike, it's your show.
Have you seen INEC prosecuting anybody
No, I've not.
for electoral violence? Let us be sincere to ourselves. We saw people stealing ballot boxes. We saw people with AK-47 shooting. Even policemen were running on those states. Nobody is saying anything in that regard. Not even the government. The best they will tell us go to court.
Yeah.
And we have a court. We do respect to the judiciary. We know what is happening. Just like Professor Odinkalu will say. We know those who have pocketed the judiciary already. Who have been building houses for them, buying cars for them, doing all kinds of things for the judiciary. And they'll tell you to go to the why are you the one telling the president to go to the judiciary? For crying out loud, you are the president of Nigeria, not the president of APC or the president of one party or the minister of one party or the governor of one party or the councillor of one party. You are any position you are holding in trust for Nigerians. Why will you tell people to go to court? We have people now. We saw them snatching ballot boxes. We saw them running, firing gun here and there. Any position we are running. Nobody, not even one, not even one. See the issue of democracy. One person prosecuted by INEC for electoral offenses. And tomorrow you expect to go and count that the Sunday I want to vote. Vote what? They should continue to be selected until one day, God will help Nigerians.
You know, thank you
God
so very
bless
much.
Captain.
Thank you. Anya, one more time. So as I was saying, you see, you come to each state. Then it started with Imo State when Hope Uzodinma came first. You know, his first, that one, he came from number 4 to number 1. And all the members of the all the members of the state assembly changed immediately, became APC members.
To number 1. They also changed to number 1.
Yes, you know. I said even the members of the state that were APC members, PDP members, they all
don't want to be in the minority.
They all became members. The KAFTAN became members of APC. I said, this is where there is problem. There was only one person that still remained in APGA or something like that. Then, but after a while, I think they convinced him to better join the rest. So you don't have minority leader. You don't even have minority group. So you see, there is chief whip, there is minority whip. These are the things you have in the assembly.
Yes.
But because of this thing we are doing in Nigeria, all these things are no longer in existence.
Yes.
Is it not a shame? We are not practicing it any longer. I don't blame you people that are saying that, especially Richard, my dear brother, my dear in-law, talking about the fact that it's no longer democracy.
Yeah.
If it were democracy, we'll have people from different places coming in. Okay, look at the very last one that happened in Rivers. That they got all of them but one. So it's that one that is the minority leader minority whip, minority everything.
Okay, let's take this guy now. He's leading himself.
He's leading himself.
We are being joined by S.O. Dudu. S.O. Dudu is calling us from Cross River State. S.O. Dudu, it's your show. Please go ahead. We've been expecting your call because of your beautiful perspective that you've always provided.
Imagine a beautiful world.
A beautiful world.
Imagine a beautiful world.
Imagine a beautiful Nigeria with KAFTANTV.
Thank you. I appreciate your call.
Good evening, Mr. Hunohashi.
Good evening, S.O. Dudu.
Good evening, Chief Okechukwu.
Thank you. This chief, you're calling me. Thank you.
We are saying hello. Good evening, KAFTAN Ambassador in Cross River.
Richard.
Good evening.
Oriri, respect.
Good evening, sir.
Thank you so much. I must appreciate the management of KAFTANTV for this wonderful opportunity. As it stands now, this is the only television station that is actually giving Nigerians this beautiful opportunity to pour out their mind.
We're encouraged by your calls.
Back to the topic, ONDO governorship election. Let's say official elections. Let me first of all congratulate the governor-elect, Governor Aditiwa. Congratulations to him. Yes, we know that when it favors APC, PDP will talk. When it favors PDP, APC will talk. But the truth is that when the process is free and fair, anybody that wins the election, we know. And when people begin to talk, we will continue to advise them. But as it stands now, INEC has a lot to do. just as one of the analysts, Chief Richard, has rightly posited, democracy is murdered in Nigeria. And let me borrow his word. He said we are now witnessing a plutocracy.
Plutocracy.
I will also add another one. We are also experiencing and practicing monitocracy now. Monitocracy. That is what we are also practicing now. Back to my experience. I actually participated in 2016 Edo and Ondo governorship election. And because of my experience there, I was not actually expecting anything different than what we have seen. They were buying votes. As a presiding officer, as a core member then, in the morning, PDP, APC started 5,000, PDP was paying 2,000.
3,000, yes, too.
Rapper and some other thing. But as we get to 12 o'clock, APC step it up to 10,000, PDP step it up to 5,000 with phones. When I was making noise, policemen, I say, what are you doing? I arrest these people. They say, Copper, do your work. In the do and undo. My brother, one of the police officers that was actually leading the team, my brother from Benue, he said, Oile, say I should forget them. I said, no problem. I was watching them, was very, very sad.
Yes.
But what are we supposed to do? The National Assembly, they need to amend our electoral act.
Yeah.
They need to amend our electoral act and as well amend the constitution to tinker with some of this reality we are seeing in our elections. If you look at what happened, Professor Jega came from the classroom as ASU president or chairman. He did the best, even as ASU chairman. And when it came down to INEC, relatively 2015 election, we can at least score him, let's say, 45 or 50%.
Jega?
I mean, they are allowed to score him.
I'll score Jega 80.
He said you score Jega 80.
I'll score Jega 80.
Okay. Let's score him 80. Okay.
So Dudu is being modest.
Now, with all due respect, I'm sure he should be listening to us. Professor Mahmoud, what are we going to remember you for this kind of election you are giving to us? As it stands now, our democracy in Nigeria is actually at siege. And for all intents and purposes, he's supposed to do the needful now. The election he's conducting, Nigerians are not happy with it. As a party man, I'm speaking as an APC member, but let's leave that apart. Nigerians are not happy with the election he's conducting beginning from 2015 to date. All the election he has conducted. And this is the right time as the INEC boss, he should do the needful. If he cannot redeem his image, you will see that in a subsequent election, there will be high voter apathy. Because Nigerians as it stands now are not even happy. They don't have confidence. They don't have trust in INEC. I am begging him.
You have 15 seconds. Yes, or do?
Yeah?
You have 15 seconds to round up.
Okay, I'm begging him that he should please, as a matter of urgency, do the needful to reposition INEC. So much. Eso Dudu coming from Cross River State.
Eso Dudu, we appreciate your perspective. Is our ambassador, KAFTAN ambassador in Cross River.
Yes.
President Obasanjo has really called for the sack of
Professor
Mahmoud Yakubu. And many Nigerians are also of the opinion.
It's not just
about... some people are happy with what he's doing.
It's not about Mahmoud. It's about Nigerians.
It's about Nigerians.
Our mentality as a whole. Is Mahmoud Benue State Governor?
No.
Is Mahmoud Zamfara State Governor that conducted an election just a few days ago? Zamfara State Governor is of PDP. in all the local governments. PDP won the election in all the local government, down to polling units, ward. Every state in Nigeria, any political party that is the governor, that is the ruling party, you win everything. Look at Rivers. PDP is the governor. But for the fact that you don't want a problem, he chooses Zenith Labour Party. Is it Zenith? No, one political party. He chooses one party. And that political party won in all, except 2 or 3 local government that he purposely gave to some of his boys there. Go to Abia. The governor there is of a Labour Party. He chooses Zenith Labour Party because Labour Party, they are having crisis.
Yes.
So he chooses Zenith Labour Party. And Zenith Labour Party swept all the local government. So it's not about Jega.
So it's about us.
It's not even about our president. It's not about any individual. It's about Nigeria. It's becoming our culture all over the country. Even if you give local government chairman opportunity to conduct election, the same thing they will do. And just like the federal system now, they have the power to appoint the electoral chairman, the INEC chairman, at the state level. Let's say Benue now, the governor appoint BSEC chairman. The same thing applicable to other states. So the system that is appointing the head of this electoral umpire is a problem.
Okay.
It's a problem.
So, Ori, let's take our last caller, Lukman. Lukman is joining us from Abuja. Lukman from Abuja, we are on. Please go ahead. You have 30 seconds.
I'm calling from Abuja. Good evening, sir.
Lukman, give us your perspective in 30 seconds. We are winding down.
Yes. Thank you very much. Everybody, I greet everybody in the studio. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Greet you too.
You see, I always say this thing. Nigeria is not ready for democracy. And it's quite unfortunately that the country that they practice democracy, they really achieve what they call democracy. It will take Nigeria a long time before we understand what they call democracy. Because before we can get it right, unless we are ready to change our mindset. And the main problem we have is the mindset. Once we change our mindset, I'm telling you, it doesn't take Nigeria 1 year before they can fix this country. Thank you. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you so very much. In fact, he's speaking in tandem with your opinion.
Yes.
It's about us. It's about our mindset.
Yes.
So we now need to think of a reorientation of Nigerians as a whole, because if not, nothing is still working. So in actual fact, so you have seen it. You are talking about lessons from this ONDO election. The first lesson we have learned is that INEC has no power to do anything. So you are free to do anything you want to do, because INEC will, even if they hold you there, even if they say that this one, we are going to prosecute you, really the day passes, you are free, you go home. Have you seen anyone that was prosecuted?
That's exactly
that is it. That's one lesson. The other lesson is that, you see, people are beginning to prepare for the next election. So when it comes, you prepare yourself and make it, let the highest bidder give you 100,000 so that you can vote for the person. Since they have moved from 5,000, 3,000 to 10,000 to 15,000, now to 30,000. Well, as time goes on, we'll get up to 100,000.
Ori, you have other thoughts on lessons?
Let's keep looking at this.
The lesson is that the country belongs to us, and we have no other country other than Nigeria. We have seen what is happening, and we have seen that it's a problem. Let us come together as people, and re-amend things that are not right in the system. Because as it is now, we are talking about police. Police is an institution, and the system that has corrupted the police, the system has corrupted even INEC, the electoral umpire, which is the basic ingredient of democracy, election. The umpire is rotten. So, as a I thank all that Prime Minister of India is in Nigeria.
Yes.
The president, the bilateral relation shouldn't just end in business alone. The bilateral relation should be how to redefine our electoral processes as well, because Indians, they have gotten it right. Let us learn from India. If we demand sending our national chairman of political parties to India to go and see and learn from India, let us do it. Whatever we can do to redefine our electoral process. We should do it for Nigeria to become better than this.
Well, I quite agree with my colleagues in the studio and our vibrant callers that Nigerians have to, put all hands on deck to do the needful, because it reminds me of what one of the greatest Greek philosophers, Plato, once said. And he said, if you do not indicate interest in the affairs of your government, then you are doomed to be under the rule of fools. We shouldn't allow ourselves to be doomed under the rule of fools. That's how far we draw the curtain on matters arising tonight. We thank our vibrant callers who called in to make the program interactive and conversational. However, I want to reiterate that all comments made by our vibrant callers were their personal opinion. There's no relationship with the editorial policy of KAFTAN Television. From me, Macauley Hunohashi, on behalf of our producer, Ruben Okala, and the entire production crew, especially the Master Control Room, is good night and see you next time.
Good night. I remain Oriri Richard.
Okechukwu Onubogbu here. May the best happen to us all the time.
As we say always on KAFTANTV,
imagine a beautiful world. But in this case, imagine a beautiful Nigeria.